You know, one of the most powerful things that I've seen in leadership is the power of words. Words can make or break you. Words can make or break someone else. It is so powerful if you understand that the most important leadership trait that one could ever possess is the power of words. Words can change a nation. Words can literally change the world. And it's how you use those words that will determine your seat in any leadership attainability there is out there. So one of the things that you have to understand when you're using your words is you have to be very smart. You can't just use your words freely, even though we have the freedom to do or to say whatever, sometimes is on our mind. People want to say what's on their mind all the time, but I'm just encouraging you to stop and think before you speak. Because look at your childhood, when you grew up, some of the things that your parents might have said to you maybe even still affect you today. Maybe it was a past relationship, good or bad, that you go back and dwell on that in the past of what someone said to you. Maybe it's words of encouragement that you kind of live on, even if it was way down in your childhood in elementary school or high school or even college. I'm telling you, the power of words are real. Now, what I want to do is give you 5 things to never say. So instead of 5 things to say with your words, I want to give you 5 things to never say when you're leading an organization, okay? So again, be very, very cautious of what you say. And these are 5 things that I would never say to your teammates, to your team members, and to your organization, okay? So the first thing that I would never say is I want results over a relationship. People are not numbers. And when you're dealing with people, especially if you're in the people business, numbers are important. We're driving the numbers. We have to get paid. We have to get promoted, and whether it's corporate America or any other industry out there. But just remember, people are not numbers. You have to develop a relationship. Now, let me be very clear and vulnerable with you. I don't always get this right. In fact, I'm not the expert at any of this, just so you know. But I've been around the block enough for the past 11 years in a business that I definitely have learned that sometimes it's easier to bite your tongue than just to say what's on your mind. So, of course, I want the numbers to be great and I want everyone to explode. And sometimes I want the numbers to be great because I know it's going to help that person have such a better lifestyle. But that person needs to know from me, from you, that they matter. They truly, truly matter. So that's the first thing to never say. Number 2, it's just how I am. So many people might say that. Well, you know what? I can't do that because it's just how I am. Well, what you're saying to yourself is that you never have to grow and that you're stuck at this position right now for the rest of your life, which isn't really fair because you have much room for growth. You have to want to grow. So once you want to grow, then you can accept the fact that you need to grow, and then you can actually accept the fact that you can improve. Because once you understand that you're not as good as you could be, then you can really get past that. So definitely do not say that. Number 3, it's not my fault or my problem. Not my fault, not my problem. How many times have I or you have kind of said that to somebody? It's not my fault, not my problem. Well, in building a team, especially being an entrepreneur, entrepreneurs are problem solvers. So if you really want to be an entrepreneur, you have to learn how to problem solve and actually embrace problems and challenges and circumstances, because if you can overcome that, you are a fantastic leader. And guess what? You get paid what you're worth at that level. If you can overcome challenges, then that's what makes you a great leader. Number 4, I'll do it myself. I found myself saying that a lot. I'll do it myself. Well, that might be true. You doing it yourself over and over might be beneficial, but long term, how is that going to benefit anybody? You're not developing any leaders. People don't want to follow you because they're just giving you all the work to do. They might look up to you because you're just the workhorse, but you got to stop and smell the roses sometimes, and you got to start showing other people, even if it takes you a little bit of time. You have to have patience in developing leaders, but just make sure that it's not just you doing the work all the time. And then lastly, number 5 is I knocked it out of the park this month, this quarter, this year. I knocked it out of the park. Now, it's great if you're knocking it out of the park, but just remember, you didn't necessarily knock it out of the park. The team did. Without the team, there is no you. And understand that very, very, teamwork is everything. So always, when you have success, always give praise to your team. Don't ever praise yourself, because then you've lost the whole point of praise. Praising your organization, recognizing your team for what they've done, is the single greatest thing a leader can ever do. Don't take credit for it. Always give credit where credit is due. So with that said, those are the 5 things to never say in your communication with team, with your organization, because it will hurt you and not help you. But if you learn those 5 things and do the opposite of that in the positive way, then you will have a thriving organization and you will be called a leader.